Some 2 years ago or so, I had contracted COVID, and I
Mhm.
was on my own. It was one early morning, maybe from midnight till around 2 o'clock. I just felt this uneasiness in my chest. It was really bad. And I had tried calling my brother, couldn't reach him, a health, a doctor, couldn't get the person. Unfortunately, I think all these people I was calling, you can imagine, were dead in sleep. So I had to finally muster courage because I realized something was happening to me. Got into my car and started driving. Went to the 37 military hospital. Unfortunately, at the time where I would go, the emergency area, there was some fumigation going on. There was a place outside where only military people were being treated or those who had served. So I couldn't get treatment. Went to what is now the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. And, it's only God because I went there. This was around maybe 3 getting to 4 o'clock in the morning, dawn. There was no bed available. I asked whether they had oxygen or anything to. There was none. And even worse, a doctor was only going to be able to show up at around 8 a.m. Imagine, 4+ hours, and I had to wait. I turned around. I was praying all through. I turned around. By the time I got to the car park, back to my car, I was feeling much better. I drove home, and that was the end of it. I could have easily died. Our health system. That's what it is. So when you look at all of this and how shockingly, like Dr. Isiedu says, in these health facilities, you would have only 10% with something as basic as thermometers. Do you think our politicians, especially, who allocate money to all of this, are doing us any justice? Is it that they are not listening to the technocrats, or is it plain ignorance? Where do you think the problem is? Bright, are you
In
with
our
me?
lives.
Mm.
Yes. God does a lot of miracles in our lives. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been talking to you today, listening to you and how you narrated your own story, your own bit of the story. You would agree with me that, as I earlier on alluded to, if politicians will listen to the technocrats and then take note of the critical reports that comes out, even from various audits in the facility, we would have known that some are device and instrument or equipment related, and those are the things we needed to fix. But are those things going to be what will give them the vote that they need? These are questions I have always asked myself, and then I have never gotten answers to, because you don't attempt to understand the thinking of the Ghanaian ourselves. People are so fascinated with seeing flashy buildings and other things that are virtually empty with the things that will give us what we need. And that is what I continue to say. How many doctors do we need in a facility? Consider our primary healthcare level, the primary facility, district hospitals, the secondary hospital, the tertiary, and then more. The situation you are describing to us now happened in a tertiary facility where they are supposed to have these basic equipment and amenities that they don't have. So you can go back to ask yourself, those our mothers who are seeking healthcare down there in the communities, which has the only district hospital as the highest facility, what is happening there? So you don't actually know whether our politicians work with the reports that are available to fix the gaps thereof, or they are tempted to use the things that they think they can do better for us that are not documented anywhere. Because all these things that Dr. Siedu said are the realities. These are sitting in reports in Ghana. Every year, just consider the annual reports from the ministry and the Ghana Health Service and the likes. And you get to know the gaps there. Go to the facilities themselves and take their reports, and you will see. In the documentary we are watching, a lady is just talking about the batteries to the defibrillator. Is it too expensive for a country like Ghana to replace a battery and get service technicians to be working on these machines from time to time? No, but what do we see? After all, is it going to be is it a problem, or is it the first time somebody is going to die because there's no defibrillator or a ventilator? No. So you know, the facility will continue to suffer. For them, the politicians, they have the opportunity of seeking healthcare somewhere due to the diplomacies that they carry themselves across. And then they will leave the very Ghanaians, their own citizens who brought them to power. So when you hear such stories, you are too demoralized and don't know what to do next. As I said, if you are tempted to say, oh, we are going on demonstration, we are going to the parliament, we are going here, at the end of the day, what has happened in all the demonstrations that have gone on? When people are talking about changing personalities so that even our economy becomes a bit sustainable or pick up shape, it's like nobody is hearing us.
Right.
So like the nurse said, or the doctor said, they give up on the patients. And we advocates sometimes are tempted to even give up because nobody listens to you. No changes are seen. Nobody is doing anything to anybody in this country. So you only pray to God to protect you and your family whenever you move out. Otherwise, I am telling you, at one safety conference, regional directors and then health professionals were mentioning it. Our system were not working. When they were themselves sick from their constituencies, they came to Accra. Nobody knew and could speak to their faces that you are Dr. So and so. And for that matter, they dumped them somewhere. What about me and you that nobody knows at all? We have to face the challenges in our system. And some of them are what we are looking at today. A tertiary facility without a ventilator. When somebody comes out from an emergency situation, what are we going to do? We are just going to observe that person die like that. And it's a very situation in our country that we find ourselves in our country. And I don't know, and we will continue to advocate and mention this. We thank you for the opportunity. In fact, continue to do this for us so that we will speak to those who would hear, and one day, we know we will get a leader that will be in the position to fix it for us. So Ghana becomes a healthy nation.